As always, I apologize for the lighting. It's a side effect of this being the opportunity for me to first get out a message to you to start the vlog, and also not to disturb other people if they're sleeping. So if you're here for morning beauty tips, you're in the wrong place. If you're here for fitness 15 to 50, you're in the right place. So morning vlog, a couple things to discuss. The primary focus in my morning workout today is for my back health, to get to good posture. That's based on how I'm feeling and how it's going to help me through the rest of my fitness day and just my day in general in terms of work and life. A lot of times when clients come to see me in an evaluation or in a first appointment, they ask me the question, Carmine, what's the best time of day to work out? Now they're asking me that as a scientific question, as if there's going to be a simple answer to that. So although they ask me a scientific question and there is some science to it, I give them a logical answer. And the logical answer is the best time to work out is when you know you can. Now, for almost all people I know, or more often, the morning is simply going to be your best opportunity if it fits into your schedule, whether it's before the kids get on the bus, before the kids get up, before you head off to work, if you're setting a pre-breakfast alarm. But the reason being is your day is the least complicated when you wake up. No one's probably going to ring you and ask you a favor. Your boss isn't going to ask you to stay late for work. Your car engine light hasn't gone on yet. Your girlfriend isn't having a work meetup that she wants you to be at. So if you have the opportunity to start your fitness day and get your first workout in the morning, that's the reason I'd suggest it primarily. The second reason that is more tied to science is I specifically have a choice. My breakfast is in front of me, it's ready. I can eat it. I could eat a portion of it before I work out. When you get up in the morning, you're following a fast. You have a short period of time to replace the nutrients and the nutritional elements that you've expended during the night. So of course you have to eat within about an hour of getting up. However, if you know that you're going to eat within that hour or something close to that, you can approach your first workout without any breakfast, as long as you have been eating with frequency and you're eating on a consistent pattern, and you're eating healthy, and that includes nutrient-rich foods. Now, what's the value of doing that first exercise without having any food in your stomach? Is the lack of blood sugar availability. So when you approach a workout on an empty stomach, your body is going to go to its secondary source of energy for exercise, which is stored body fat. So that's what the storing of body fat and the stored body fat process is. And that's what trainers commonly refer to, or I refer to, as metabolism. Your ability to convert body fat into blood sugar to work for energy and for body activity, or the excess of blood sugar being stored in a way that we don't need it because we're unable to use it. So on an empty tank, my body's going to have no choice but to seek out stored body fat as a source of nutrition. So I'm gently moving into my elbow prop here. If you guys are familiar with this, what's happening is I'm letting my hips sit down. In yoga, they'll call this, I believe, cobra position. I don't know if they call it cobra from the elbow position, but when I woke up, whether it was how I slept or how I've been sitting since I've been up, I could tell that my posture was off. I was having trouble standing up straight. So what I'm doing is letting my hips relax and settle towards the ground. I feel the lengthening of my waist, and I feel the recurve and the repositioning of my lower vertebrae, which is the most important part. So I take enough time with this, and I try to use principles of yoga in adding some deep breaths, because I do feel like there is a great value to that. Part of it is that relaxing and accepting the discomfort that comes along with it. And part of it is once you lengthen the abs, it's a nice feeling to feel like you're moving and there's oxygen traveling in between those expanded fibers. So I'm feeling like I'm getting to a pretty good place here, and I'll be ready to start my first two movements. So if you're a person who is going to take these two motions, this morning motion, and make it your daily exercise, I've talked about the value of daily exercise, and there is science around 15 minutes of daily activity being as valuable as 5 hours of exercise a week, divided into 3 days or something like that. And I think it's a worthwhile approach, especially getting started. So for me, I read on how I'm feeling from workouts before, and that's how I decide how I'm going to start my day here. So today, really the lower back was the chief issue, so I'm focusing on muscles on the back of my body to help me start my day in good posture and in a good healthy spinal position. So one of the drills that we're going to do is going to be, well, I'll discuss the one that you're familiar with that I do very frequently, is I'm going to do a palms facing chin up. I add a knee up to that to affect the abs. And the second drill I'm going to do is an unorthodox plank. And the unorthodox plank is from a plank position. I'm going to be reaching across a side. A plank in general, when you have great core health, is about equally demanding for your front waist and your lower back. Those two have to work together to hold that neutral straight position. In a plank, as I'm in a plank here, if I notice that my lower back's really struggling, I have to stay up here to hold the position. Or perhaps my front's struggling and I have to sink into a curved position. It's a sign of a typical strength imbalance, that either your front or back are stronger. More often people, although they feel, because they carry body fat in their front and their center mass, that they're weaker in the stomach and stronger in the back, most often the weakness is in the posterior. So I'm actually going to start with the cross side plank drill. So if you're able to, I'm just going to pick something as an object to move. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. If you take a look, I'm going to be working here in a high plank. And outside of my left hand is an object. I'm going to reach across and move it outside my right hand, reach across, move it across my left hand, and just continue with that motion. With clients, I'll use a couple of cones and a small ball, and I'll have them keep their shoulders over their hands in plank position and place a ball across into the cone, take the ball, place it into the other cone. You don't need an object to move. You could just reach across, return, reach across, return. So at this point, I'm getting a little fatigued. I'm trying to keep a good plank position. I'm trying to keep my hips neutral so I'm not twisting in my reaches. So that was good. I felt equal parts waist and lower back there. And again, I feel better than I felt when I first got on. I'm gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna set up and try and give you guys a good view at my chin up and see what kind of numbers I do on that. I'm trying to utilize more than one camera view to give you guys a better look at my form, especially in these morning vlogs when we're doing them in wake up light and not in full lighting. So this will be a palms facing chin up with a little knee lift. So I felt pretty good with those. Pretty strong performance. That's it for me. That's just my 2 get up and go exercises. If you're using this as your daily exercise, remember, even if it's just the 2 motions or it's 2 motions from another morning vlog, and you're combining motions, if you're using this as your daily exercise, you want to turn it into at least 15 minutes of exertion, hopefully 20, to be safe. Along with that, you have to remember that the one danger of getting all your exercise out in the day, your true exercise out, is you have to manage your nutrition carefully the rest of the day. So I wouldn't want to reward this workout knowing I'm going to exercise again. You may not be. If you're not exercising again, you have to manage what happens next with your food. Following exercise and workouts, protein's crucial. Carbohydrates are crucial. However, you want to stick to your complex and nutrient-rich carbohydrates, not your simple starchy and sweet carbohydrates. There's a place for them, but they have to be extremely careful and extremely portionally controlled. If you're doing the right thing with those 2 elements, usually your fats are going to come out okay. The only thing to discuss aside from that are your essential oils. And diversity in diet usually provides those, but sometimes it does not. And for that reason, sometimes we need to supplement with flaxseed oil or omega-3s. But that's for another vlog. So it's a good start to the day. I hope your day is starting off terrific. I'm glad you joined me for the morning, and I will see you later.